Today, on Be Something Wonderful, manifest outrageous wealth without feeling anything. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We have another big video for you this morning. It comes from a conversation with one of you that said this: Tom, everything opened up for me, literally the floodgates, when I stopped trying to feel better and control my thoughts and feelings. And she was referring to a few videos where we talked about this idea. She goes, it stuck with me, what you said. Stop trying to feel better about a reality and self-concept that you don't prefer. Remember, we've talked about this in a few videos now, over the last few months. We're trying to resolve our temporary thoughts and feelings, these changing thoughts and feelings. We're trying to feel better about conditions that are not our choice, about a reality that's not our preference, about a life that we don't desire, about an identity that no longer resonates with us. Remember, you don't have to feel better about that. It's about choosing the new idea, choosing the new alternative parallel identity or reality of your choice. Return to I am. Return to I am, and I can have everything I want and desire no matter what. Right? You don't have to feel anything. She was quoting this from the show The Chosen, where Jesus is talking to his apostles. He said, I chose you, the 12 apostles. And he was going to send them out two by two, the idea of duality, right? Send them out two by two into the world to do works and wonders and miracles. And then one of the apostles says, he's going, well, I don't feel any different. And what does Jesus, your I am awareness, say? I don't need you to feel anything to do great things. You don't have to clean up the changing thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Just leave them be. Stop trying to resolve and change those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and manifested conditions. Right? They're no longer your choice. It's not who you are. Right? So you don't have to do anything with them. But move to the idea that I am and I can have everything I want and desire no matter what. This is what we talked about. This idea of that one of his disciples, one of his apostles, saying, I don't feel any different. And then Jesus, your I am awareness, saying, I don't need you to feel anything to do great things. So powerful. Stop conditioning your outrageous fulfillment, your outrageous life of wealth in every area. She said she's feeling so wealthy, so blessed, not just with money, which is flowing to her, right? But in her relationships, with her family, at work, she's just feeling the wealth of that well-being as source, as the source and creator of her reality. So your changing thoughts and feelings are not reality. They're changing, so they can't be real. They can't be a true representation of who you are. Anything that changes or that is temporary is not real or reality. They're not proof or evidence of who you are. They're not proof or evidence of anything. They are not cause or source of anything. They do not cause you, hear this, to manifest or not manifest anything. In the words of your I am awareness, in Jesus in the show The Chosen, he was talking about the pool at the pool of Bethesda. It means nothing. It does nothing. They mean nothing. They do nothing. They really just act as Abraham Hicks would talk about, the emotional guidance scale, pointing you back to the idea that what you're assuming about yourself is not true. That's what those changing thoughts and feelings do. But they're always changing. You don't even have to resolve that. Right? You don't even have to resolve that untruth that you're believing about yourself. It's just going to the idea that I am and I can. I am and I can have everything I want. Right? Because this is really what we got to. She goes, Tom, it really was just a shift. Because even as I imagined and affirmed and assumed my new reality, I still had this idea that can I really have this? I can't really have this. And she dropped that and said, that thought means nothing. And the feeling with it means nothing. Hear this. This is powerful. So That's why you're exhausted. She said she was talking about when she was really exhausted. She would post comments on the channel about that. She goes, I remember posting comments that I'm just exhausted. It's exhausting to try to change, fix, and control those changing thoughts and feelings or conditions of 3D appearances because they are merely manifestations of your assumptions of yourself and your assumptions of yourself and your reality, who you believe or assume you are. So you don't have to make any changes there. Move back to I am and I can. This is really the theme of that conversation because it was her moving to this idea that, wait a minute, I can have everything I want. I really can. I am everything I want. I really am. This is so powerful, right? There are two core or root assumptions that create, manifest, and reflect your entire life experience. I am, or in other words, I can, or I am not, or I cannot. That's what drives it all. You assume, I am or I can means you assume that you can have and be everything you want and desire. I am not assumes that I am not and I cannot have everything I want and desire. What's it going to be? Because that changes everything. This is powerful. Remember, assumptions go beyond mere beliefs and mere thoughts. They're a declaration of a truth of who you believe you are. It's the truth. It can't be shaken, your assumption of that true fulfillment of I am. Manifesting and creating all the money, love, and well-being, which she's really feeling, body and mind, you want and desire, has nothing to do with your changing thoughts and feelings, but rather the assumption that you can have all the money, love, well-being you can imagine, no matter what you are thinking or feeling or doing, or whatever the physical manifested conditions and circumstances are appearing. Whew. That was a lot there, so I'm going to get that again. Remember, manifesting, creating all the money and love and well-being you want and desire has nothing to do with your changing thoughts and feelings, but rather everything to do with your assumption that you can have all the money, love, and well-being you can imagine, no matter what. No matter what you're thinking or feeling, no matter what the physical manifested conditions and circumstances appearing. This is what she moved to. So your degree of positivity or vibration, hear this, is not measured or determined by your temporary changing emotions, thoughts, and feelings, but rather to the degree or the extent that you are aware of yourself, the real you, as source or supply of everything you want and desire. This was a big point because she came from the school of Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction, these other teachers. She was talking about, it really changed everything as I watched these videos where you talked about this idea. That when we think of positivity or vibration, it's not measured by those changing thoughts and feelings, those changing emotions, but rather true positivities, what the ancients are talking about, the true movement up the scale of consciousness or the emotional or the scale of emotions, right? The emotional guidance scale, as Abraham Hicks calls it. It's to the degree or extent that you are aware of yourself, I am, the real you, as source or supply of everything you want and desire. To the extent that you're aware that I am and I can have everything I want and desire. Wow. I am everything I want and I can have everything I want and desire. The more aware you are of yourself, I am God and there is no other, that affirmation that we've talked about from the scripture, as source, the more you're aware of yourself as source, the more connected you are with what you want and desire. And when you are connected with what you love, it feels good. What are you really feeling, though? You're feeling your essence, your core vibration, that signature frequency that's only unique to you as an infinite point of consciousness of God, that's unique to you, but that is one with the only vibration there is of love, of God, of all there is. It's the highest vibration. Your vibration is the highest vibration you could ever have. It's of love. It's that oneness with God. That's your unique vibration, right? So it can't get any higher than that. But to the extent that you realize that, is to the extent that you're aware of yourself as source and supply of everything you want and desire. Right? That's the whole idea. And when you assume you're not, it doesn't feel good. It's a translation of that emotion, that one emotion, source energy. That one emotion of true love and gratitude and grace. And of your core vibration, that is an infinite perspective or personality or point of that divine vibration or that divine essence of God. So this is big here today. We've talked about this in many different ways. Stop using processes and techniques to think and feel better. Right? That's why it feels exhausting. You're trying to work your way up the emotional guidance scale or the scale of consciousness. Know and be more aware that you are the scale. Remember, use all processes, all techniques to choose that new reality, to choose that new identity. That's what processes and techniques, that's why affirmations and robotic affirmations and scripting, subliminals, meditation, all of those techniques, imagining in a state akin to sleep, visualizing, they're all powerful because they come from that absolute fulfillment, right? Not trying to make yourself feel better, but choosing from being that core essence as source. What part of all that you are that you want to experience next? That's the power there. Do you see the scale? This is the scale that all of them talk about. And there's a bunch of, from love and gratitude to desperation and despair and fear. But really, at one end's love, one end's fear. But remember, extremes meet. So there are no real ends. Fear meets love. It's all one, right? But on this scale, what all of these teachers are talking about, they're talking about the idea as you move up from fear through sort of a neutral feeling neutral, to then feeling better and feeling love and feeling gratitude and feeling appreciation. You work your way up the scale. But remember, what's the key? The key is that the more aware you are of who you really are is really the true extent of positivity. The idea that when you're more aware that you are the scale, that there's nothing outside of you, that all of these changing possible emotions exist within you as all that is. None of them define you. Who you are is the entire scale. So even the most physical, the idea of love, the emotion of love that you can feel in your physical 3D reality, even that, the highest gratitude and love you could feel is nothing compared to who you really are. The ultimate love and gratitude and grace that you are as the scale. So that's the idea. As we have fearful emotions or doubt or depression or any of those things, that's more contracting. That's you less aware of who you really are. And then as you become more aware, you experience more of these positive emotions. But remember, none of them are who you really are. You're the entire scale. None of it changes your true nature or your name or I am. So instead of working your way up the scale, know and be more aware that you are the scale, that you don't have to make yourself feel better. You don't have to control those thoughts. Just be more aware. The true degree of measuring the true degree of positivity is a measurement of how aware you are of your true nature. This is powerful. Let's continue this. I talked about this in many videos. Remember, you could be thinking and feeling more positive thoughts, but still feel separate from what you want and desire. You could still have that idea, I'm not yet who I desire to be. I don't think I can have this. Even as you have positive thoughts. And so you resolve that feeling by not attempting to have it. So you feel better. You now feel positive about life because you're no longer, you're saying, oh, I just can't have that. Right? You're trying to resolve it to feel better. Right? You assume you cannot have what you want and desire. So you're trying to think and feel better about that. You're trying to resolve those negative emotions about an identity and reality that you don't prefer. Instead of doing that, leave that. There's nothing to do with that. It's not even a reality that you prefer. You don't have to resolve it and feel better about not being the person you desire to be, or not having the things that you desire, all the wealth and things that you want. Stop trying to feel better about that and resolve it. And instead go to the assumption that you can and are that person you desire to be. Right? You can have those things. You could be thinking and feeling negative thoughts, but still assume you're connected with what you desire, and you are that identity and reality you want no matter what. You're not trying to resolve anything anymore, right? You're just deciding, I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not going to try to resolve that. I'm going to get back to my connection and say, I am that which I desire to be. That's what we mean. That's the whole idea of what positivity really means. It means whatever thoughts and feelings you're feeling or having, no matter what the appearance is, I'm going to assume I am that person I desire to be anyway. I'm going to assume I can have everything I want and desire no matter what. That's because I know my true nature, because I'm more aware of who I really am as source. You're no longer trying to resolve it. It's about positive being, not positive thinking. It's knowing and being aware of who you really are. That you are source, that you are the scale, that you are all that is. Wow, that's powerful. So, all processes and techniques, and they're beautiful. And again, I'm always saying yes, use them because you are the process and technique. So anything you choose to do, whatever affirmations you choose to repeat, whatever scripting you want to do, whatever imaginal scene in a state akin to sleep that you want to try, all of that's powerful because you're choosing what you want and desire as source and as fulfillment, not as a condition or requirement to manifest and have what you want. Stop using all of that. Stop using trying to feel better and think better thoughts and techniques and processes as conditions or requirements to give yourself permission to be who you desire to be and have what you desire to have. In other words, to manifest and have all that you want. Right? It's not about thinking and feeling better, increasing your vibration and working your way up the scale of consciousness and emotions. That's exhausting. It's about being more aware of your true nature, that I am awareness as the scale itself, that you are already the highest vibration, your core unique vibration in essence, as a 3D physical personality. That personalized frequency is source. That's your true nature. You have that no matter what. It's about being aware and knowing this no matter what you're thinking, feeling, seeing, or doing. No matter what you're thinking, feeling, seeing, or doing. It's knowing this, right? So if you remember Jesus in The Chosen, as he prepares to go ride a donkey into Jerusalem, right? Very humbly riding a donkey to enter Jerusalem. He says this to his disciples that we just said, that you don't have to, no matter what you think, feel, or do, you are always that personalized essence or that unique vibration of all that is, no matter what. So this is Jesus, your ideal identity and reality of wealth, love, and well-being. That's what Jerusalem represents. Entering Jerusalem, entering that identity, that reality of your ideal. Right? No longer trying to feel better or do things to make it happen, right? Or worrying about what you're thinking or feeling or doing or seeing, right? Remember, this was during Passover. So as you pass over into your new identity and reality, that's the significance of Passover. It's you passing over to that new ideal, that new life of wealth and health and love and well-being. And this is what Jesus says to his followers, to his disciples, right before he enters Jerusalem. No matter what happens this week, in other words, as you pass over into that new state of wealth, health, and love and well-being, as you recognize that as the only reality, as you become more aware, hear it again, of your true nature. No matter what happens, no matter what you see or feel or think or do, this is what Jesus is saying, right? I want you to know that in this world of changing thoughts, feelings, and appearances, in this world of trying to move up and down the emotional guidance scale and the scale of consciousness, in this world, I loved you as my own. In this world, that's your I am awareness saying that. I loved you as my own. In other words, that you, that I am, that you are the scale. That your core essence or that vibration never changes who you really are. Your core individualized and personalized signature vibration or frequency as source never changes. I loved you as my own. That doesn't change. These temporary thoughts and feelings and appearances don't change that. That trying to move up and down the emotional guidance scale doesn't change that. It just gives you the experience that you're not that who you desire to be, but you are. That's powerful right there. So, the Gospel of Thomas, I've used this quote before, a nice way to sort of wrap up this idea. Jesus said this, when you know yourselves, when you're aware, in other words, of your own unique core personalized vibration as source, that essence that is you, that frequency or vibration that doesn't have to be raised and doesn't lower. It's that one frequency of God which you tune into as a unique personality as source. When you know yourselves, then you'll be known. In other words, you'll be one with your desires, your ideal identity, and the version of that you desire. And you'll realize that you're children of the living source. That your unique core vibration is one with that great vibration, that great I am. There's no separation. Wow. Right? But if you don't know yourselves, then you live in poverty and you are the poverty. In other words, if you're not aware of your true nature as that essence, you try to work your way up the scale. You try to feel better about things. You try to feel and think better thoughts about a reality, about a version of you that you no longer prefer. That's not even that's not even the real you. Right? Assuming I am not, that I am not that which I desire to be. I cannot have what I desire to have. That all changes, right? As you decide, I'm no longer going to do that. I'm no longer try to feel better. It doesn't matter what I think, feel, or do. Remember this week, no matter what you think, feel, do, or see, I loved you as my own. I'm loved anyway. I'm loved anyway. Manifest outrageous wealth without feeling anything. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, anywhere on social media at Be Something Wonderful or Tom Kearin, and for being part of our membership channel. A week from today, we have our next live stream, our next live event on the membership channel, where I'm going to answer your questions live that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Keep sending your questions. I'm also going to answer questions live on the chat. We will have that announcement come out today with the link to the live stream. So you'll get notified of this if you're a member of the membership channel. So if you're a member, join us. If you're not, take a look at the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.